eye movements. This is absolutely fascinating. I gave this its own section because it's so special, it's so unique. NLP is really where this came from. The CIA loves this, the NSA loves this, the FBI loves this. Why? Because it's a great way to detect how people are thinking. Now, look at the chart and you'll see VAK, which is a visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, the VAC system that we talked about. And you've got VAC-C, which is visual constructed, okay? Now that means lying or imagining. So if as you're looking at somebody, they look up and to, their right, your left, they're making stuff up. This is the best way to tell if they're lying. If they're trying to remember what actually happened, they'll look up into their left, your right. So that's why I had this picture facing you, because that's the easiest way to remember which way they're looking when they're either being truthful or lying. So from your perspective, if they're looking up and to your left, they're lying. If they're looking up and to their right, they're remembering, they're being truthful. So Bandler and Grindler actually discovered that there's this strange phenomena, but it's absolutely positively, scientifically true and duplicatable, that you will move your eyes in certain directions when you're accessing certain parts of your brain. Almost like when you're dreaming, you have that REM sleep where your eyes flutter. That's your brain affecting your eyes. Well, your thinking affects your eyes too. And to remember something, you have to look up and to your left. To make something up or to imagine something that could happen in the future, or imagine something going differently, changing an outcome, you have to look up and to your right. Now, when you're thinking auditorially, self-talk, thinking in your head or sounds, or recalling or remembering a sound, you look side to side and side and down. You can see exactly how this works in the diagram. Kinetically, you basically look down and to the right. When you're trying to say, hey, how do I switch out this spark plug? Well, you think about how you do it manually. Well, I grab the wrench and I put that in my hand and I pull the wire off and then I twist it to the right, and you can almost feel it in your hand. When you're remembering that type of stuff, then that's the K, that's the kinetic. So you can literally tap into how people are thinking by looking at this diagram, memorizing it, and then practicing with some people. Now, the only time this isn't absolutely, positively, 100% true is when they're left-handed. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's opposite. More than likely, it's the opposite for them. But fortunately, about 95% or 97% of people are right-handed. So this works absolutely great. Remember, we were trying to figure out if someone was visual, auditory, or kinesthetic as their primary system when they were talking by listening to the words they were using. Did they use visual words, auditory words, or kinesthetic words? You can also talk to them, and if they tend to look up most of the time when they're talking, they're more visual. If they tend to look off to the side when they're talking, they're more auditory. And if they tend to look down and off to the side, then they're more kinesthetic in their basic approach. So this is just a fascinating piece of NLP. I hope you found this useful, and let's move on to the next section.